Hey guys, this is Dreadbane, joined by Sapphire. This is game 6 now of the King of the Hill finals. Now, Kowi is now the yellow Protoss, and Az back to the blue Protoss. Now, this is Metalopolis, and Az is on fire right now.
Yeah, Az has just been dominating 3 games in a row after losing the first 2 to Kowi in this best of 7. So Kowi needs to get the mental confidence back online. He knows that he can play really, really well in Protoss vs Protoss, and he knows he can beat Az. He just needs to play himself back into this game. Now, we are on Metalopolis, and we are very, very close positions here. So interesting to find out whether they're going to find each other with that scouting. And we are at the home of the frowny face. As you know, there's the 2 little eyes and the frowny face there, which is always a great place to decide these kind of skirmishes. So I'm curious if we're going to see the same opening from both players, whether Kowi's going to go 12 gate 14 gas and whether Az is once again going to go 13 gate 15 gas. And that little variation, even though the first couple of games Az mixed it up with some crazy pressure builds, but these last couple of games, that little bit of an advantage has put Az in a good situation going into the early game, and then he's just continued to really maintain that edge. And so far he's been using his robotics play and getting those colossi out really, really effectively. So yes, we do see very, very similar builds from both players. We are seeing the 12 gate from Kowi and the 13 gate from Az right now. So both players sticking to their game plan, and it's just going to come down to execution once again.
Yeah, I do wonder Kowi's mindset of this, because he's been beaten a couple of times now when he's gone Stalkers, his favourite Stalkers. We say so much about it, but really, he does love them a lot. So he's gone that and gotten beaten quite handily a couple times. So really, I think it's business as usual for Az. I do wonder, though, if one of them will try something crazy. They have been trying stuff all game. Random proxy pylons, all this stuff. Of course, there's the little gas vents on the side of these 2 bases, so it's actually more than any other map, one that you can do some crazy business with it. But yeah, we'll just have to wait. Once again, this probe, though, going to town on this pylon, he's going to get it down into the health again, as these 3 probes now forced to go off, which they could be mining. So that Kowi probe doing its job, forcing Az to really watch out for it.
Yeah, I feel that was a bit of a mistake there by Az. He was going for the surround to get the probe kill, but Kowi able to slip away and throws down a gas deal once again. Meanwhile, he's taking his own assimilator. So this really boxes Az in, and it makes it harder for him to get out those stalkers, and it allows Kowi to go for a heavier gas build. And Az is forced then to make more zealots than he normally would, although that hasn't been too much of a problem so far for Az, as he now finally denies that probe. A little bit of a mistake there by Kowi, as he should have slipped it back. But basically, this is a terrible map to be a pylon. Poor pylons get abused and abused by Kowi and Az. They just get constantly hacked on every single game. So interesting to find out whether Az, and we're seeing already, he's falling behind in the gas stakes. He's got a lot more minerals than he does Vespine, whereas Kowi has evened off a lot nicer and able to spend more effectively as he is on these stalkers. We are seeing the first stalker from Kowi coming out, rallied into Az's base, and we're seeing fast expansion from Az, using that mineral surplus to expand, and there's now this stalker in this base. Late reaction time from Az right there, trying to work on this stalker, but the stalker did not crucially get any probe kills. But it does mean that Kowi picks up on this expansion, realizes what's going on, throwing down 3 gateways, looking to 4 gate into this. Meanwhile, this 4 probes, who were obviously planning to get in on this gateway, in on this assimilator, are just hanging out. Massive mistake here for Az, who's just been thrown off by this little bit of harassment by Kowi right now. So I feel Az uncharacteristic mistakes that this early pressure has resulted in, and this can often be the case. He was using additional probes just to burn this assimilator down fast, and he was forced. I don't believe he wanted to early expand, not in these positions on Metalopolis, but he was forced with that surplus minerals to either dump them into zealots or extra gateways, or expand with that lack of Vespine. So I feel that Kowi with that gas deal has really dictated the terms of this game a little bit, and there was no counter gas deal, and there's a proxy pylon being put in, and once again we are seeing pure stalker coming across. So I feel Kowi's situation is really, really good now.
This gas is actually still Kowi's in Az's base, so choosing not to get that, I guess he can't leave his front because he does have this expansion. So I guess wise in that case. But now these stalkers, I don't know about that force field placement. He did get them behind there, but they're able to just walk around, no worries there with no damage. Now this pylon will be very, very crucial. He's able to warp in all the units he's lost there, as is now pinned to his expansion with no pylon down here just yet, so he's forced to just keep defending this one ramp. He can't defend up the ramp because he's got this expansion, leaving him very vulnerable. Now Kowie's just going to town with these Stalkers. There's so many, really doing so much damage here. I don't know if Az has enough to counter this because now these Zealots getting into the fray, but there's so many of these Stalkers everywhere. Now these probes trying to do something, but they're just getting completely wiped out. I don't know if this early expansion, while risky, I don't think it's worked out because more Stalkers are now flooding in. Oh man, Az is in bad shape.
Yeah, don't like this situation for Az. He's basically got himself in a bad position, getting his army trapped in that middle line. Now we're seeing Desperation Zealots coming in to try and close the distance. Force field going off from this Stantree, but Az calls GG, and I don't like this super early expansion. It was very aggressive, but it's just in these positions, I just don't think you can hold it. And especially when this fight came down, Az got his units boxed in at the mineral line, and half his Stalkers were behind the minerals, half trapped in the Nexus, and he was trying to get his probes involved. That's why he was retreating, but it really just meant that Kowi executed him with that numerical Stalker advantage. And now we're all tied up, so now we're going to ace match in this best of 7, and that's super exciting. Can't wait.